Hello and welcome back to Ads Academy by Helium 10. I'm Bradley Sutton and this is
Dusty Wishan.
In this group of modules, we're going to talk about negative targeting and exclusions. These aren't acronyms, but it's not exactly common terminology. Like maybe exclusion is giving you flashbacks when you were the loner in high school and you were excluded from all like, wait a minute, I'm making this too personal on our time. Anyways, exclusions, that's not what we're talking about. Negative targeting, you think in a negative, we're like, don't be a negative Nancy. How is this good? We're supposed to be positive here. But negative targeting can be very positive for your bank account. Why is that?
Absolutely. At the end of the day, there's some keywords you shouldn't bid on. Now, this can be really difficult to understand because at the end of the day, if a customer clicked on the ad, it was probably somewhat beneficial. But there's a few instances where that's just not the case. So we're really going to dive into how to understand your negative targeting and how to understand when is the appropriate time to actually pause a keyword.
Yeah. There's very few times, or I guess it depends by niche maybe, where you want to negative match something maybe from day one or something. Like I've actually had that experience when I used to be in the phone case business.
I was just going to use that example.
That was how I got in. My very first thing in Amazon was phone cases. And so we would have iPhone 5 phone cases and iPhone 6 phone cases. But sometimes, like in auto campaigns and broad campaigns, if I had something that said iPhone 5 case, it's possible that Amazon on its own would still show me for iPhone 6 case. And I would not want to make a conversion. I don't care what the ACOS is, because if I sell an iPhone 6 case to somebody who has an iPhone 5 case, guess what? They're going to return that product, and now my ACOS is infinity, for that sale. So that's like a no-brainer situation on where negative matching is good.
Yep.
But in your experience, you've actually seen situations where you feel, I think, people are maybe negative matching too early, right?
Absolutely. Going back to the customer, if they clicked on your ad, they were interested in your product. So I think the big examples I always use is, let's say I'm selling vanilla protein. I'm having chocolate protein come up in my search term report pretty frequently. I'm seeing it. People are clicking, maybe because they think that maybe I sell both variations. That could be an opportunity there. But at the end of the day, I still have an opportunity to convert that customer. Maybe they typed in chocolate protein and maybe they did see my vanilla protein. They still decided they wanted it. Now, maybe they're confused and the ACOS is terrible. If the ACOS is terrible and you have a terrible conversion rate, you can make the database decision to say, I should pause this or negate this term. On the flip side, though, I've seen multiple scenarios just like that where someone still converted because maybe they thought they wanted chocolate, but then they realized strawberry sounds really good.
Yep.
Right? So let the data guide you in this area. If you aggressively go negate a ton of different terms, it's a good chance you're just cutting off an audience because, again, they won't click if they are not interested. We're only getting charged if they clicked. So don't go aggressively negate. Instead, let the data guide you unless it's a situation like phone cases, phone chargers, where you have a clear distinction. Let the data guide you and then maybe lean into pausing a keyword or lowering a bid rather than negating.
As you guys get deeper into advertising, you're going to find when you start looking at your search term reports that you are converting for keywords that you were like, what in the actual heck? There is nothing that this is the opposite of what my product is. And it's not just a one-time thing. Like, I'll give you guys two examples. One of the case studies we've done with Project X, we sold a coffin shelf and a wooden egg tray. For the coffin shelf, this is a morbid looking product. It's a shelf literally shaped like a coffin. And I remember I first started getting clicks for this keyword, kawaii decor. Kawaii is a Japanese word. You know what that means?
I know the aesthetic.
Yeah, it's like cute and ooh, like this. And I was like, this coffin shelf is not kawaii. All right? Like if you anime people out there know what kawaii means. And I was like, maybe I should just negative match this because this is just going to waste my money. I got a lot of sales. So there is some subsection of the Gothic community who, when they're looking for something cute, is looking for something shaped like a coffin. On the flip side, one of the top keywords, this isn't just a fringe keyword like the kawaii decor, one of the top converting keywords for my wooden, made of acacia wood, like this, egg tray, is porcelain egg holder. Porcelain, this is obviously not a porcelain. I really wanted to negative match that right away, but I had gotten 2 sales, so I was just like, you know what, let me just let this ride. And then sure enough, basically what was happening was people, yes, they were searching for a porcelain, but it's just because they didn't even know a wooden one
They
existed.
think they want that.
Exactly.
And then they see the sponsored ad. And this is the important part to understand. If they saw the ad and clicked on it at some point in time, they decided, maybe I do want a wooden. Now, again, it may not convert as high because you're still having to convince them that the wooden is better.
Sure.
But that's where you can always lower your bid. If you're converting poorly, lower your bid, and you still may win those sales for a profitable manner.
Absolutely. Now, in situations like you said, hey, just monitor how much you're spending or how many clicks go. Like there is a point of no return. Like I'm sure you guys would agree, regardless of how relevant or irrelevant the keyword is, if you get 150 clicks with 0 sales, the chances that the 151st click is going to actually convert into sales is probably low. That being said, 150 probably is not the threshold. 5 might not be the threshold. And sometimes it's not the number of clicks. How do you go about deciding when that threshold is of, hey, I've seen enough, I need to go ahead and negative target?
Great question. A lot of different factors here. One, I would say it really comes down to your bid. You can have 100 clicks if you're bidding 10 cents because that's only $10. So if you have a $30 product and you finally get that sell at 101 clicks, that would be 33% ACoS. Is that math right? Yeah, 33% ACoS. That's profitable for most people. On the flip side, if you have a $3 bid in 100 clicks, you just spent $300 on a $30 product. That is not profitable. So the CPC matters a lot in what your threshold is, but the thing that also matters is the conversion rate in general. For really expensive products, I see a 1 to 5% conversion rate's good. So you can do that math pretty quickly. For supplements, we see you almost have to have a 35 to 40% conversion rate. So if you have a 40% conversion rate and a $40 product, that means you need almost 15 clicks. Is that right? Something along
My
those
computer
lines.
like mine is not working right
Yeah.
now. I'm out of order.
Well,
We'll just go with what she said.
Well, I had a deck where I verify all of these numbers that I'm just throwing out there. But all that to say, it depends. You know, some people will say 10 clicks and that's it, but that's just not the case. If you have a $100 product, you can afford a lot more clicks. If you have a low bid, you can afford a lot more clicks.
All right. So now that you understand what negative targeting is, how can you start setting rules about this? How do you analyze your reports so that you know what to negative target? We'll go over that in the next module.